Hey everybody. Well, I'm alive, and I'm here with Crondis
Hello.
and Avernic,
Salutations.
and I would say as usual, but it's not really usual. But Walter's in chat. He says hello, probably. There we go. He says hello. He says hi, actually, but you know. We're going to be talking about two pieces of RuneFest stuff. We're going to be talking about the reveals and the skilling content today. We're going to go over the combat and the lore at another time. I swear, we are going to go over the combat and the lore at some point.
Hopefully later
It will
this.
happen.
Hopefully later this week.
Yeah, hopefully later this week, like within the next couple of days. The lore one is kind of a big one for us. We really want to do that.
Yeah, it was 2 hours long, so it's gonna be a lengthy podcast in and of itself.
At least 4 hours.
Exactly what our viewers
Yeah,
want.
at least 4 hours of us dissecting the 2 hours of lore.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great, is what I'm saying. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of dive into things here. RuneFest happened. It honestly was really good in my eyes. They didn't really balls anything up. Announced very realistic stuff. Yeah, I didn't really have any complaints.
Yeah, the reveals was only things that are currently in development, minus one thing. So I get there were people that were like, "Oh, there wasn't too much done," and I kind of understand that. You know, I think they.
People Reddit.
Yeah, basically.
Reddit was like, "Oh my god, they didn't reveal enough."
But I think
after like a day earlier, going, "Oh, they need to stop revealing stuff that's not in development." So I was a little salty.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are trying to be very conservative with it, you know,
Yeah.
not wanting
And
to
like again,
get
I'm saying this
expectations
as
up.
somebody who is a very active redditor.
Yeah,
Right. And they just went back to MTX complaining, so.
I think they could probably do a bit better, like trying to find a middle ground with stuff that's in development plus stuff that's planned, and they are 95% positive it's going to be put into development.
I
But
think with the unfinished business model, though, they really don't want to accidentally add one thing, even one
yeah,
thing to it.
that's
so.
probably true.
Yep.
Not maybe next year, but not this year.
Like,
Too fresh.
we're not doing this again.
At least not this year. This is not the year.
Next year, on the other hand.
Right. Speaking of unfinished business, though.
That's
first topic in the reveals.
Yeah,
That segue.
basically pretty much everything that was revealed beyond like some bossy stuff was unfinished business E. We got some let's see, we got the clue scroll rework mentioned, we got mining and smithing mentioned, we got a new quest mentioned, we got another quest mentioned, we got some skilling updates, we got some skilling outfit stuff, we got
Skilling
we got the PvP minigame thing that's like the one old school RuneScape does, and
it's PVM.
Yeah, it is PVM.
And clans. Clans were also
and clan stuff, because woo, that's not stuff coming very soon, but you know, it happens. Basically, we got a good variety of things announced, and now we're gonna talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
So, first order of business, the clue scroll rework was announced, even though we knew about it, like, you know, properly. We've been told it's coming in the winter now.
I'm still questioning why this is actually needed. Quite honestly,
clue scrolls suck. Even with access to the
dyes.
Not even dyes, but like even with the value of things going up because of Luck of the Dwarves, they're just not fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's older, but I think maybe it could be focused on later. I don't know. I think it's a weird. I think it's a weird thing to focus on, but I get why they're doing it because it's probably
it was something
easier.
announced at last year's RuneFest that players seemed passionate about, so I understand why they're going for it. Now, I think the one thing that I am concerned about with all of the announcements is that pretty much all they're talking about is, here's a bunch of cool rewards for it, when the core problem of Treasure Trails isn't the rewards, it's the gameplay.
Right. It really comes down to what the unique stuff on the Master Clues is going to be.
I also get really, really tired of all of the new, like, this is mega rare unique. Just, like, honestly, I don't enjoy clue scrolls that much. They're not amazingly fun.
It's not for us, though, so...
I mean, like, I don't mind them, but, like, the idea of going and randomly doing a clue scroll and getting like 2B just from
But it's
completing your average clue scroll is not something I'm particularly a big fan of.
that's how we do it though. There are definitely people out there
Oh yeah.
that are doing like clue scroll after clue. They're doing 10 clue scrolls an hour or something.
Yeah, they hunt that stuff. But
15.
like,
Yeah.
and I get it too, but like it's still not something I'm crazy about.
Well, it's
What I'm
also
gonna
like
get out of this
originally,
update
you know,
is,
clue scrolls were made to just do as an off time, and if you got super lucky and you got something, it was just kind of something that happened. It wasn't something that you hunted.
right.
You know, you would get that
Yeah.
random piece of third age armor, but it was not something you were actively looking for, and that's kind of what they do now with the dies.
Yeah. Now people actually hunt the dies. In fact, that actually goes into the second thing that they're doing with clue scrolls that's kind of peeving me a little bit. Is the clue scroll collections like they just did with bosses.
That's gonna be that's so unobtainable that
It's so uninteresting to me. Because yeah, they have so many mega rares and are just adding more mega rares.
You're never gonna finish it.
It doesn't do anything for me. Like you're gonna get the easy and the mediums done, and then like the elite. Oh my god, I don't want to think about how long that's
And
gonna
the
take.
masters.
The boss stuff is obtainable, you know?
Right.
Like
Right.
takes some grind, but almost all of those boss ones are relatively obtainable.
Mm-hmm.
With, you know, a few exceptions of like, oh well, that's a pretty rare drop. But like the fact that I'm gonna now, like if I wanted these clue scroll things, the fact that I'm gonna have to take that long just to get one of these collections done is nuts.
Yeah.
So I think
something
those
keep
are
out of your mind.
incredibly misguided, and I can't really say I'm happy about it.
On the bright side, the second age armor looks really good.
Yeah, it looks great. Unfortunately, third age armor still looks like trash.
Still looks
because the
terrible.
poll that-
Hopefully
the
that'll
poll
get
that got
updated.
60-something%, I believe, lost because you required 70% to rework the visuals like 2 years ago. I'm still upset about that, and I don't even own any third age, but like, look at it.
Yeah, I've never owned any third age, but it looks like
so
garbage.
The third age plate body looks like somebody like bought a white T-shirt from like friggin' American Eagle and then added some shoulder pads that they cut out of their mom's closets, like jackets. Like really?
Honestly, it's something that looks
so
better
bad.
in old school because it matches all the graphics.
Yeah, it's not something that has a place in RuneScape 3.
Maybe by surprise it gets updated.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not gonna.
I can't wait
not gonna
for
bet
6
on it.
people to revolt. There's gonna be like a passionate post written on Reddit, 600 plus upvotes. Dear Jagex, the community voted years ago that the third age armor shouldn't be updated, and now look what you've done. You've made it look terrible. And it's like a picture of this like gorgeous new armor, and they're sitting there whining about it. Like, I had the perfect outfit built and spent millions of my hard-earned coins on this third age plate body, and now look at it. It doesn't fit my outfit anymore because it's too detailed, and it's like a picture of somebody in like, I don't know, like the retro Solomon's thing. Like, that will happen. I'm telling you now. If it doesn't, I'll freaking write it as a parody. But like, I think that's just why I'm kind of annoyed with the whole thing. Is like, I get that people like their old school appearances, but we have a whole game for that now.
Yeah, and at the very least, we have Solomons for that. Like, the dragon armor exists in there. There's
Yeah,
nothing
and like,
saying that you
I don't really
can't put
expect
other
them to
things.
sell like cosmetic third age retro on there.
I
'cause
feel
I
like
mean-
that's too prestigious that they
talk
can't
about people
really.
whining about using
Yeah.
their.
Well, here's the thing: if it's kind of like saying, they sell the retro dragon. It's everyone knows that the retro is you bought it, and the updated
Yeah.
is you've not.
I
So
feel like
That's
yes,
true. Yeah.
but you have like the chromatic party hat effect, where even though it's obviously an item you got elsewhere, they still turned it upside down just to like make sure.
Exactly. It's still got that prestige to it because
So that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to take the third age and make players wear it backwards.
Here's what they need to do: just let you toggle it. Toggle scape OP.
Yep, see, there you go.
Toggle off everyone else's cosmetics.
Toggle scale.
Anybody that owned one before the update keeps the old appearance. Anybody else, you're shit out of luck.
Oh dear, that'd be awful.
This podcast is now rated PG-13.
If you use any more of those, it might go to R.
I'll use up one of my fucks later. Shit.
Hey, that was a non-sexual fuck, so it can still be PG-13.
Yeah,
Except I just said it, so now it's been 2, so now it's R.
All right, we've moved up. Welcome to our podcast.
But,
yeah, I mean, I know we're doing a lot of ranting about treasure trails here. I just think that the design so far feels kind of misguided, and it's not targeting a lot of the core issues, because every time they go and update treasure trails, we just get back to the same problem again, which is, okay, so we updated treasure trails, give it 2 years before we need to do this again.
do you feel like they should be talking about the mechanics of the master clues at all, or would you rather that be a surprise?
I definitely think they need to talk about the mechanics of the master clues. It's not even that I think, they're going to be insane or anything. I just think that players really should know what important things they're going to need
What kind
to
of
do.
puzzles? Yeah.
Yeah, like
I feel like it's gonna be
I
a
don't want
new
how to solve the puzzle spoiled, but just like
Right.
show me something.
I don't
Because
know.
right now,
I
honestly,
feel like that could be something that could
aren't
be left
dealing
like.
with the core problems.
I feel like that could be something that could be like explorable though. It's like they're letting you find out for the first time as you're doing it.
If they don't say in the news post.
At least tell me it's happening.
Yeah.
Like all I've heard so far is stuff like, "Oh, we're adding new anagram clues." Okay, yep, that fixes my problem. Now I just can't use the wiki for a week on how to use my new treasure trails.
Mhm.
Which,
What
like, I
about
feel like
the,
a dick saying that too, but like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
We aren't the hardcore people that are this update
No,
started yet. We're gonna do
even
it
that, like,
lazily.
even the hardcore people aren't going to be sitting there not using the wiki.
They're just
Like,
gonna
I
memorize them.
appreciate adding some freshness to it, but the core problem with treasure trails is just that the gameplay is incredibly repetitive for, that rare reward, which really does drive a lot of people. I agree on that. But,
Yeah.
go in and make some really quality improvements to the gameplay too, and I just haven't heard anything about that yet, and that leaves me a little worried.
Speaking about the rewards, particularly in relation to the dies, how do you feel about these items that they have to make new items for, new models for every single high level item? I feel like it's really like time consuming.
Oh, for the flame sword thing and
No,
stuff.
the sword one they says they're gonna make it dynamic, so it stretches whenever
That's
weapons
really
are
easy,
on.
yeah.
But
They
the
already
dies-
have that tech with auras.
Right, the dies. They have
Speaking
to go
of,
with
I
every
hope they
item.
rework aura tech with that, because they don't actually stretch very well. But dies. Fuck everything about dies. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people really, really enjoy dice.
Like literally messed in.
But fuck dice. Like they are doing horrid things to developers' time. Cannot stand that.
Oh, they also mentioned that they are taking a bit from old school and they're doing the little hidey hole things for the item.
I am really happy about that.
Yeah, I think that was a good old school update.
I think there's going to be an achievement for doing all of them, so
Probably.
gonna do that.
Yeah, no, they already said there's an achievement for doing all of them, so I'm like, cool.
Oh, that's what I'm getting out of this update. It's free rune score.
I mean, honestly, I think they need to add rewards for rune score too. I don't think we're done with achievements yet. And I know Stu is still adding like areas for them and stuff, but
remove comp cape and make it relate to rune score.
I think we need some more variety for rune score. I hate to harp on I'm
examining
dead
everyone
horse
to look at
but I just keep saying Jagex steal shamelessly from Guild Wars 2. They use their achievement points to offer unique cosmetic rewards, bonuses for reaching certain milestones. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff they do there.
You could
steal
tie stuff
shamelessly.
You could tie stuff like auras to that. Like, the people argue that like this time-gated content you guys have to wait with membership. You could totally like make rune score relate to how many auras you can buy.
Speaking of those, I actually really need to drop my suggestion about how to improve auras. I have a thing for that I've been working on. I keep forgetting I need to like actually write it up into a proper document and put it on Reddit, because I've had a bunch of people ask me what the hell it is.
Alright, so we want to move on
I'll do
to
that,
skilling
Tim.
relics?
Yeah, let's move on
I
to
think we did
things that I'm
everything.
not going to sit here and rant about for
After
now.
15 minutes of clue scrolls.
Don't worry, we'll get to Oktoberfest next.
Are we doing Oktoberfest next?
After skilling.
After skilling.
Oh, we're doing skilling relics. Okay.
Yeah.
These things are terrible for the game, and they shouldn't be. No, I'm kidding. These are awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy
They're
about
still
these.
very vague, but yeah, I'm happy that they're
Super vague. I mean,
they
we
didn't
got
really
a-
go into explanation about what they were wanting to do with it, because even at the skilling...
They have a few specific ideas. They have the...
Well, they had the information about the destruction one, and I think there was another one, but it was even the mods that were doing the skilling segment, they didn't even know all of them.
It seems very early still.
Yeah,
we
it
have
seems very
5
early.
of them listed. So we have Sacrifice, which damages you for buffs, lower your health, bigger the buff, basically skilling of Darok. Like, why? Restoration, buffs your skilling potions or regrows locations. Time, which helps you AFK more complex training methods, which I think is actually really dumb. Elemental, which changes for different buffs. And then Destruction, which annihilates the resources you gather in returns for alternative rewards.
Yeah.
And then there's a secret 6th one related to Lady Traherne that we don't know too much about.
But is going to be a new heroic item in the vein of Hazelmere's Signet Ring.
Correct.
Yay. Because that's what we needed another one of.
So, Timbo's reply to Avernic actually made it seem pretty decent. Just time and effort. I'm cool with that. Instead of just,
or rarity,
good luck.
Just straight up like Hazelmere's Signet is just you get lucky.
I was going to say, I believe the correct way to describe Hazelmere's Signet Ring is, fuck you, good luck.
I like that there's these items, though. There's only like 50, 100 of them in the game, though. It makes them feel more
it's cool.
Awesome.
But it's a waste of time.
So what I was thinking about with the skilling relic...
I like being able to work towards those kind of things, and it sounds like the Lady Traherne one is exactly the kind of stuff I'm cool with.
Right, this one seems like a work towards one.
Yeah.
This is a, take your time and work towards this awesome item thing.
As opposed to,
like,
pray to God that you get this random drop that's 1 in a billion.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not such a big fan of it.
But the thing I was thinking about the skilling relics, though, especially the destruction one, is that it kind of just sounds like a copy and paste of skill jumpers.
Well, it sounds like a copy and paste of skill jumpers combined with auras.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have your what destruction one was which one?
The annihilation.
Yeah, the annihilation. Or what is it? Destruction one annihilates the resources.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so you have skill chompers for an offhand, like that. Seems...
Yeah, and like I'm cool with the idea of adding skilling offhands and all that. Like I think that's great. But I also think we need skilling gear and not the here's plus 6% XP.
Right,
like,
you need like stuff you
actual
like,
expensive gear that you get from bosses and from high intensity skilling.
From high intensity skilling stuff, I'd say. Yeah.
I mean, I'm even fine with it from bosses, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I guess
Like
I can see
I think that skilling needs that kind of gear. Like for fishing, for instance, I got my shark outfit, I got my fisherman's outfit, and I got my crystal fishing rod, and
right, you need more choices.
Look at me, I'm top tier fisher now.
You need more variants, more choices.
It's not even like
more than one
choice.
choice.
Skilling's gear to be in the vein of like combat.
You're picking whether you're taking those Thunder Banes, those Death Touch bracelets. You're picking.
Yeah. Make me earn it.
Yeah,
I'm totally cool with that. Like, I would like to go earn skilling equipment. When I say skilling equipment, I don't just mean offhands. Like, let me suit up.
Or just a set that takes the effect of the set before it. It
should
be all-inclusive. It should be a choice.
A level 10 through level 90 set for skilling. I'm totally cool with that. I think that would be really exciting.
Yeah. Oh well. I like the idea though.
I think
they have a lot of good potential.
Start. I am a big fan of these, and I think that we should keep doing them.
They said they want to release 5, but keep going when they can with some more.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm a big fan
of these, though. I just like them to keep going with them. I think they just need to go nuts.
They make good potential quest rewards.
And I use the Catalyst Fragment a lot, and that's the prototype for this.
I use the Catalyst Fragment.
That is amazing.
To get the Menaphos buff, I plan to use the Menaphos buff. Like, stuff like that is really nice.
Yeah.
So, giving me more options for skilling, giving me more choice for skilling is something I'm very interested and excited about.
And you get to pick 2 whole new perks to put in, or 1. 2 and 1.
I
Especially
think it was
because
2.
Jagex is
Don't
all about the fact they're making them all augmentable is great. The
Don't
fact that
perk tools
Jagex
take
actually
2 perk
seems
slots?
very
Oh yeah,
enthusiastic.
we're gonna be able to
about improving
augment
skilling.
the stone shard. Like that's gonna
Yeah.
be hilarious.
That's been
I'm
announced
psyched.
a lot. I'm surprised that they're probably pushing it back to this update. It was supposed to come out with replay.
Speaking of, when the hell is replay coming up?
When QA can bother to go to the maze.
Oh yeah, so replay is currently stuck in QA because the
Yeah,
QA
no,
analyst
to test
can't get out of the maze.
Because I remember it was mentioned recently, and Raven did say it is in QA. So I'm like, come on, let's.
I think we'll hit a
I'm
full
gonna get
year
it,
before.
but it was supposed to come out in January. I think that's where I'm a little, peeved by it.
Yeah, it's kind of just currently stuck in Forever QA right now.
Evil Dave's Quest was announced more than a year ago. So
Yeah, but it's
things
actually
take
like
over a
in
year.
development
It
and
was actually
coming at a
coming.
reasonable pace.
And it was also a tap project for
And like
half the year.
I'm not even mad at Mod Raven or anything. It's just like, I want to see what he can do to improve endgame as a questing experience.
Right.
And right now I'm not getting that. Because we're a little late on this.
But that'll happen eventually. No use dwelling on it. We hope.
I sure hope so. I don't want it to become more unfinished business.
If a year from now it's still not done, we can start making demands on Reddit and stuff.
We can start complaining like we did with the Dwarf finale and how we didn't get our post-quest dialogue for over a year.
And KS
I brought
still
that
don't
up
make sense.
so many times until it finally got answered and released. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing.
Nuv's Oktoberfest.
I don't even want to.
Oh, it's
This
the fair,
is
but with different
a-
activities.
This is a thing. For anyone who doesn't get the name reference, it is a basically RS version of Oktoberfest, which is the
Except
German
in
celebration of beer, because they're German.
Which I'm a huge fan of. I don't really think this sounds like anything special. It's just another round of the fair and that kind of thing.
Yeah, this
But they're
definitely
certainly,
sounds like
they're not something I
MTX
hate.
update.
They're an easy distraction.
It's not something I use anymore. Like I used the beach religiously the first time it was out, but now I just don't even bother with these events.
I'm maxed and then some.
So I'm like, I'll just go do my Slayer tasks in my dungeon area.
I basically use them if they have fishing options or are willing, are able to drop a pet that I might want. That's really it. And then like sometimes I keep an eye on the rewards. Like I basically go in and maybe make use of it and then just buy the rewards off the GE if I can.
I did do the spring fair for the Yak teleport. That was it.
Yeah, I will give you that. That was a nice one.
Anything for a teleport override, I'll do.
I don't even.
My
it's funny. I'm willing to work for walk overrides, but I don't use them.
Huh.
Which sounds like a me problem, really.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, like I don't hate these kind of events. I just think Jagex needs to not rely on them too hard.
Right.
They did the same thing with those the skilling for tokens events where they were fun the first couple of times, and then the rewards from them started to diminish, and the amount of them that were released started to increase heavily.
Every month.
I also just feel like they've kind of become oversaturated at this point. Like we've had so many.
Yeah,
like
something nice happens, the community enjoys it, and then Jagex goes a little too hard.
Like we get the beach, we get the Christmas one every year, and then we've had the Falador, the Port Sarum. It's like they just become repetitive after a while, because it's the same basic thing. They use the same exact they use the same exact interface every single time. It's like we know you're just copying and pasting.
If it wasn't in the same location, I think I'd be a little more excited about it as well.
That's true. I'm glad they're doing the Dimension of the Damned just because they're getting the live events team to do something really different.
Shh, we haven't gotten there yet.
But
I agree with you though. Like I like to see the live events team working on more varied content because when they do, it's usually really fun.
Yeah.
They're a creative bunch and they tend to drop some cool stuff every once in a while.
50-50 is really fun. And if it is fun, they repeat it. If it's not, then
I was gonna say when it's fresh, it's usually pretty interesting.
It's well received then, yeah.
But then it gets overdone, and then we are like, okay, stop, please.
Yeah, but Oktoberfest, not much to say about that other than.
So does that mean we're moving on to the big spotlight update of the hour?
Is this the one that we're gonna hype up?
Pirate finale!
Pieces of Hate.
That's
Such a good name.
Great.
Such a good name.
Yeah, it's a really good name.
Awful acronym though.
Yes, it's POH. Ugh. I just noticed that earlier today.
Yeah, that's gonna be complicated to talk about. Yeah, I'm gonna go do POH. POH what?
We
What
just
is
got
POH?
Which
POH?
No, first.
Call it pieces.
You can just call it hate.
Call it.
I think that might get misconstrued.
Well, I'm gonna go do some hate. Well, if it sucks, you know.
Okay,
Easy.
we'll determine afterwards what we're gonna call it.
Yeah. If it's good, we'll call it Majesty. If it's bad, we'll just mock it endlessly. No, but I'm honestly really excited about this. Osborne
I'm glad
said
it's
it's
the
the
one
best
that got
design
picked.
document he's ever seen, which has me pretty
One
pumped.
of the best, not the best.
Okay, one of the
Don't
best.
overdo it. You shoot yourself in the foot.
It's the best design document ever.
Yeah, don't be Jagex. Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
It's the best design
Do that
document
years
with
later.
Crashians in it, so it's got to have something there.
Yeah,
Hey, like,
the Crashians
I don't
do
mind
not understand.
using the Crashians. I'm totally cool with them using it if they expand the lore with them.
Yeah, like that was something I was telling Osborne on Twitter. Like, you cannot do what you did with Beneath Cursed Tides and Shadow over Ashdale, where you stuck these things in there.
I'm totally cool with like Shadow over Ashdale was fine. It introduced a new race. Like, cool, whatever.
Yeah,
But
they
then
just
also
weren't
love
expanded.
that, even if that quest was a little lame.
They
But then
flopped
just
on-
dropping them randomly into Beneath Cursed Tides was just dumb.
It was-
I will continue to rag on about that quest because it made so many weird mistakes.
It was dumb, and it made no sense with the rest of
Yeah.
that quest, but we're not going to get
Like
into that here.
they even announced it, said the Crassians were going to be in it, had
Shadow
the
of
quest
Ashdale.
required, and then took it off the quest requirements.
Well,
Like I've ranted about this quest in the past, so I'm not going to go into it too hard. But if he's using the Crassians and he's found a creative way to do it, more power to you.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
excited to see what you got.
Make
But-
them sound tacky or whatever. and
Please,
just go nuts with
please
it.
don't just use them because.
yeah.
Right. I have faith it's not that.
Yeah, I don't either. I think Raven's better than that.
Same with the Dragonkin Temple. I feel like that's just like a.
Yeah,
I
I
have
have zero complaints about them pulling Dragonkin into this, especially because lore-wise, we know they came from that direction at some point.
Right. So there's
Cool.
probably a temple out there somewhere.
Yep.
well, and it's like this is what Osborne was saying, was he would rather incorporate them into the lore than just, drop them all together. Which I understand.
Unlike
but
the
you-
Arthurians, please drop them all together.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to explain them. You cannot go about this and leave them as this weird thing that just exists, because it will ruin a quest series that has had nothing to do with them up until this point.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to be Zautakian, which I'm cool with.
And
I would
Tie them into the horrors, go all Zautak on them. Great, please.
I would be
they
fine
already,
with them being
they already
Zautakian,
fit that
but-
idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I would not complain if he does it well.
And I feel like they mention those things because they're like the buzzwords. They're the things you can sell the quests on.
Probably, yeah.
They might not be like as important as they're being made out.
Hey
to be.
guys, you remember those things from that one quest that we made look good, but none of you realize is actually
Yeah,
shit?
remember those things from the quest on the tutorial island that you all hate and want us to redo? Yeah, we're bringing those back.
Okay, the Dragonkin more so than the Crassians, but yeah,
Oh, I was just mocking
Yeah.
the Crassian, sorry.
yeah.
They're too easy.
And it was another thing, is like, we've actually seen Dragonkin on Mostly Harmless before. It's not
Right.
something that is...
In fact, if anything, that felt out of place. Even though we knew they came from the east, they didn't really have a purpose to be there.
Yeah,
yet.
I mean, it was
But they
really
could've
weird
picked
at the
anywhere for that
time,
segment.
but maybe now we can actually get explanation as to why they were on Mostly Harmless all the way back then.
Well, what's extra funny, too, about that is at the time, nobody even complained because we had the whole, they came from the east thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was also Ritual for the Wazrat, which no one was paying attention to the Dragonkin in that quest.
I actually gave that quest a lot of shit when it came out.
I loved that quest.
I still give it a little bit of shit, but it's a lot better
Yeah.
than I... It grew thanks to additional lore added later, in my models.
Yeah, it did.
But I do. You know what? I'll talk about that quest later. This is not the time.
Back to pirate. You can talk about a Clockwork Syringe as much as you want.
Yeah, but yeah, like I like the idea of them going ahead and putting a Dragon Contemple over there because it gives them more of a reason to have been there. It's that kind of retroactive stuff that improves another quest in hindsight. And I'm all about that.
Now,
Keep doing that.
Do we know if this quest is like absolutely 5th age, like River of Blood,
Yes.
or is it more
Yes,
like...
they said it in the lore talk that this is a 5th age quest.
Specifically that it's a 5th age quest.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like a Birthright of the Dwarves, where it's like...
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I was fine with in terms of that lore. That quest was bad, but not because it was 6th age.
Yeah,
Right.
They did specifically say that Pieces of Hate was 5th age.
Okay.
They're treating 5th age quests as unfinished business and actually want to treat them as 5th age quests.
Which is going to be weird, because if we actually see anything from Dragonkin in this quest, they're still going to be under the curse.
Yeah,
As if the stone
that
is
is
still
actually
there.
going to be
Which is going to be funny,
really
because that would be the first time we've seen them since Endgame.
curse, yeah. I don't really expect us to see any dragon.
I don't think...
I don't either, but...
I think that would take the focus off
I think
the
we'll
horse
see-
too
I think
much,
we'll have
and
some
I think
notes in there.
Raven is much smarter than that.
Yeah.
He knows not to pull the focus away from the thing that, you know...
Even though we
It's
had
missing.
notes about Zautak and Kindred Spirits.
Hey, and like, please drop some creepy Zautak stuff in there, just a little
Mhm.
bit, nothing nuts, but do it. I'm all for it. Again,
Yeah, now that Wilson's gone, the Zautak stuff has been dwindling out.
seriously.
I need more
Well, I
of my
mean,
life.
the content has been seriously absent as well, but
There hasn't been a
That's-
Raven update in a long while. Since Endgame, actually.
Yeah. So you know, I'm eager to see what happens with this.
I'm excited. What'd you think about Migor getting updated?
Thank
Awesome.
God.
I agree with them that he is one of the worst models in the game.
Yeah, they need to just go ahead and update all
They've
of
been-
those
they've been
disgusting
slow- yeah.
models.
Look nice.
They've been slowly, successfully slaughtering all old models. The fact that they managed to successfully handle a Black Knight Titan rework is just
Okay, that one,
kudos.
I could go, never mind. I could go on a rant about that one for hours.
They did such a good job with that. what a hilariously stupid way to do it, but I cannot do anything but commend them for it.
You can only pull it once.
Exactly. Like everything else, you just graphically update it now. Just do it. Like, especially with the game coming to mobile, they need the game to look good and showy.
Yes, they do.
And like, I know Migor isn't exactly my idea.
So,
This is big and showy, but
So
Still.
fix Renput under Drainer, please. I'm begging you.
oh my god, I forgot about him. I
Oh.
try to forget about him. You see that model and you just like hiss in pain.
He hisses at you and you hiss back.
Hiss, who are you? Hiss, how do you look like you're from 2003? Yeah.
And I'm so glad they did this over gnomes.
I mean, and I would have been completely down for a gnome finale too.
I would have been sad. A little sad.
I think both series have been left in kind of an awkward spot where their quest before it didn't really make many people hyped for the next one.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like a Clockwork?
I liked a Clockwork. It just added a bunch of random shit.
I think the problem with Clockwork is that at this point it has just been so long.
I went back to look
Not-
at Clockwork, and there's a lot of stuff in there. It's like really interesting building up of like Captain Donnie and his plans with Rabbit Jack and stuff like that.
One thing I seriously disliked about a Clockwork Syringe was that it introduced a bunch of characters that you were treated as if you should have known about.
Yes.
Which ones?
Like the not Migor, but the other person.
Mechanical Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was supposed to be like the third person we meet from Rabbit Jack's crew. So that was like his introduction.
Yeah, but it didn't treat it as an introduction. It's just like, oh, it's Mechanical Murphy. Look, guys, and we're all like, who?
Well, hopefully, I guess, yeah.
I will admit that seagull thing.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. That was dumb. You want to talk about Gower Quest cannon breaking in the real game? That right there. I understand why. I mean, like, it was the first quest that did anything interesting with Constitution. Magister was second.
Right.
Magister still sucks.
Your house got blown up.
Yeah, I mean, and I thought that scene was awesome.
Yeah.
But it didn't leave us in a place that made me go, I cannot wait for the next pirate quest. It made me go, that was a decent entry. The hell is next?
Better than what I think Prisoner of Glowfree is, but
I think if anything, Prisoner of Glowfree left us in a much better spot because
I completely disagree. I feel like that took the series that was already established and just threw it in the toilet.
I mean, they fucked up with that quest in terms of the danger. That was one of the most handholdy quests, but the story was good. The puzzle was good. But just walking into Arpazandra and literally being told, no, you can't walk there, you might get caught, had me going, really? This is a master quest after a semi-difficult quest where we almost died.
Right.
And no, you don't walk there, buddy. You might get caught. You might get hurt. No, don't do that, bud. No.
The puzzle workshop was good. Like that was a good extension of what we've been doing so far.
Yeah,
but everything
I
else
enjoyed it. I thought the twist at the end with Glauk was awesome, and I want more of that. So I would have been down for a Gnome Quest very happily.
I don't know. I feel like if we were chosen between pirates and gnomes, I'm going to happily take the pirates.
And I think Gnome has a more consistent line of quests, but I think the pirates has a more interesting potential for lore.
I was shouting it was going to be pirates for weeks before, so I'm glad I was just right.
Like I'm the kind of person who honestly would have just flipped a coin, so I'm satisfied no matter what we got. I was actually super concerned when they revealed that poll, and everybody was like, "I want Slayer quests."
What even is that? Beyond Vampire Slayer and Dragon Slayer,
Sanity Slayer. Sorry, Endgame.
There's only 3 of them, and they're not related at all, and they're all free-to-play quests.
No, what I honestly think people wanted was I don't know if you remember the survey from 2 years ago,
the Slayer Master
and they pitched that idea of the Slayer Master quest. I think that's what they were angling with. That.
No, they were angling at the Dragon Slayer stuff because they called Dragon Slayer 2 like old school's version of.
Which speaking of that, I think that's going to be a train wreck.
Probably.
I sound like a dick about this, and I'm saying this as somebody who honestly thinks that old school has been doing some really cool updates.
Mm.
Everything that was announced about Dragon Slayer 2 sounds like it's just a reward vehicle.
Oh, that's what all the quests are.
Yeah, I mean, that was what Monkey Madness 2 was.
Yeah, I was going to say, good point. Monkey Madness 2 was not...
And that's all their quests.
From my understanding. But they've got, those smaller, lore-focused quests, like the one for Zaya that I thought was just fine, even if it was short. It had some interesting little content. It had some hidden post-quest dialogue.
Mistell and Mystery is their best one they've added.
That was a fun Halloween quest. I agree with you on that. They've done some decent work in the past, but I feel like they need to remember that quests... I mean, and they have Ash on staff. Of course they know this.
Quests are there to be quests first.
Yeah, quests first, not reward vehicles, because,
when they're pulling
3 isn't all about, here's a bunch of insane rewards, here's, a couple interesting things that you can pay attention to.
Sometimes we don't even get rewards.
True. But, they always aim to add, 1 or 2 unique, interesting rewards from quests,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a couple more, depending on the scope and size.
Right.
But Dragon Slayer 2 is literally here's adamant dragons, here's rune dragons, you get a dragon, you get a dragon, your mom gets a dragon, everybody gets a dragon. You're going overboard on it, and it leaves me worried because there's such a focus on the rewards, and I get why.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not really trying to throw shade at old school here, but I know they're very reward focused. The old school community reminds me in a way of how we had to pander to Rune Labs.
And
if you show them some cool rewards, they'll be more inclined to vote yes.
Oh yeah, I know that strategy.
But yeah,
I think we all know that strategy at this point.
Yeah, we're all very well versed in that. But it just leaves me wanting, okay, but what about the quest?
Right.
Because I'm the kind of player who would willingly play old school and level stuff up if you're giving me a really quality quest.
We'll see how Dragon Slayer 2 goes. Monkey Madness wouldn't make me.
Yeah, I looked at it, I considered it, and then read some info about it, and was kind of maybe not.
All right, on to Fishing Trawler Part 2.
Yeah, I'm really cool about this one. So basically, deep sea fishing, swimming, boats,
diving.
Yeah, cool, do it, awesome. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think it should be some semblance of a quest reward. Like, I don't need a new quest added, but I think requiring, lots of fishing and swimming knowledge would be great.
Yeah, they also showed a little a demo that they have, which was literally the fishing trawler, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah,
but it was basically they want you to constantly just keep clicking around. It's not going to be like standard fishing where you're clicking one spot and waiting.
It's very click intensive, but also
so
rewards a lot of XP.
Right, so they're saying the more that you get into it, and the more consistent you are, the higher your XP is going to go.
Okay, so I'm going to sound like an asshole here, but I the only one who was so pleased when they started talking about how terrible waterfall fishing is.
Yes.
They've been talking about that for a couple months now.
Oh, I know. The first time I heard it, I was like, yes.
I think they've known since the beginning that this was going to be a problem.
Because was pissed about it.
Exactly, because they were releasing the most AFK fishing experience, but it was also the highest. Like, they knew this was going to be bad. They released it as yet another Prifddinas update at the time. Oh, yeah, they weren't happy about that.
2 months, here's a new update to Prifddinas.
Yeah.
Like, and as somebody that lost that poll by a mere 2% of the vote, it was a little vindictive.
You can't complain anymore. The sunken pyramid exists.
Not salty at all there, are you?
Not at all. Especially because, hilariously, it was a Slayer update that lost.
Yeah.
Like, really? I mean, I appreciate that Jagex saw the desire for it and have continued to implement little chunks of it.
Mm-hmm.
We got the raptor thing as like honestly kind of shitty testing grounds for the idea, but then getting the personalized Slayer dungeon in Menaphos made me so incredibly happy. And I'm saying this as somebody who has yet to make use of it in the slightest. But
you gotta get those manifest shadow creatures in there. It's best XP.
It's clearly made people very happy. It's a very quality update that added a lot to Slayer, and it was something just really unique and interesting that you have to work for. So I'm so glad that made it in, because that was really the big focus of my suggestion in the first place. I just went with the Wandering Master because I thought that would push people towards it.
But for deep sea fishing,
deep sea fishing, yes.
My concern with this is the community, because they're selling it on it being fun to do.
Yeah.
People say they want in polls, but do they really?
Attaching an automated Morse code clicker to my mouse is really the thing I was looking for.
And what concerns me is either it's the best XP, and this is going to be available for most of the fishing, all the levels. So either it's best XP.
Oh, is it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be all the levels and it scales. So
if it's the best, then everyone's just there the whole time. But if it's not the best, is it dead?
Probably. Yeah. See,
I'd rather it be not the best.
I would rather it just had requirements on it. Like, why does deep sea fishing need to be something somebody that's only got a level in fishing is able to do?
Because they want it to be like.
Because they want it to be social. That's the whole thing. Is they want you to be have the social option while you're skilling, and I think with the current way the community goes, that's not really how things work.
I don't know why the polls show that they want that.
I just want fun gameplay.
I think the polls showing that skilling is boring is probably either from the PVM community or people who just don't like skilling, period. As opposed to people...
skilling is boring.
Yeah,
I open Netflix and watch it while skilling. Skilling does not have a lot of excitement.
No, it doesn't have much excitement to it. Like, it is a boring aspect of the game, and that's... I get
drops from it. There's not really any challenge from it,
Right. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, like, some of it was made to just be like the downtime,
Grind, yeah.
So
I don't think it makes any sense to me that it needs to be for all levels. I think it's very important that levels, you have unlocks, and using one method for your entirety of skilling is
boring.
Well, see, that's the thing, and
boring.
if because
RuneFest
it's scaling,
has a similar problem. You do move around a lot,
right? Well, see, here's the thing: is that they're in a weird situation, and they talked about this the skilling update or the skilling segment, was that they want you to have the social aspect, and they don't want you to be separated on different parts of the map, where you have the highest at Prifddinas and the lowest at Sears Village, and then But at the same time, they don't want to have you standing in one place doing the same exact thing from
That's
1 to
just
9.
so contradictory.
Yeah,
But also
from
at the
1 to
same
99.
time- But also at the same time, why? What is wrong with having players split up as they begin to train? What is a level 99 fisher really need to do standing next to a level 1 fisher?
I think this comes down to we don't have people in the level 1 to 70 fishing range in the game as well right now. So
Yeah, I think that's another thing is though, but I see where they're going with it is that they want it to be more social, but at the same time they're contradicting themselves because you either are going to
Here's how to
have
make skilling more social.
Yeah, exactly.
Update clans.
Okay.
I'm not joking.
Here's the thing, though, but you're either going to have it one or two ways. You're either going to have different things are going to be the best XP at different levels, and it's going to segregate the players, or you're going to have one thing that's the best thing all the way through, and they're going to be there the whole time 1 to 99. Otherwise, you can't have it both ways, where you want it to be social, and at the same time you don't want it to be
slippery slope.
Exactly. You can't have it both
As
ways.
I've said in the past, skilling, especially gathering, needs the following options: fastest XP, best money making, middle ground, and intensities of varying degrees for
We're gonna get there. That's in the skilling
segment. The problem
segment.
is what it seems like we're looking at here. Yeah, that's part of skilling overall. What it seems like they're adding is just high intensity, high XP, never leave.
Exactly. That is my worry for this.
Fishing.
That is my worry for deep sea fishing, is that it's either going to be dead or it's going to be packed.
And I think there's a lot of really cool ideas coming with deep sea fishing. It's definitely something I've seen around over many years. Even like the idea of whaling and stuff. And I even think they could incorporate some small elements of like the idea of like archaeological discoveries, like you fish something up rare and ancient, and that's really cool.
I think we got that in the form of prawns right now. Like you get like those items you add to your aquarium.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well, and here's the thing when it comes down to the high.
But like when I say ancient stuff, I don't mean like here's an improvement for your aquarium. I mean like here's this cool lore thing that gives you some fishing XP.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Lore.
Well, here's the thing when it's going to come down to the very tip-top high level in fishing with the deep sea fishing stuff. If we're going off the assumption that because it's the most high intensity that it's going to have the best XP, then you're going to have three options. You're going to have the most experience at the high intensity with deep sea fishing. You're going to have middle intensity with middle experience at the Uncharted Isles. Yeah, and at the same time, you're going to have the lowest intensity with lowest XP of these three at the waterfall fishing.
Which of course is a massive buff to fishing.
Exactly. But here's the thing. The difference between waterfall fishing and arc fishing is not that big.
It's like 5.
I think realistically they need to nerf waterfall fishing, and I don't think that's popular opinion.
I don't know if they need to nerf it because it's not. If they nerf it, I feel like no one's going to do it. So I think the option. I don't want to say great. I don't want to say great because I do like waterfall fishing for what it is. I think it is a good AFK experience making. But
here's what
I think instead of nerfing waterfall fishing, they need to buff arc fishing slightly to where it makes more sense that because you're putting in the more time, you're getting more than just 5k XP more per hour.
So here's two things I think need to be done. One, yes, buff arc fishing.
Woo.
Even just make wobbegongs more common on isles, and that's good enough. Two, nerf waterfall fishing, but increase the amount of XP you get from the urchins when you trade them in.
Why?
Because if they nerf the XP per hour rate and you're just using it as an AFK, you get less urchins per hour than somebody that's being more intense and picking up urchins and doing the special events. So raise it to 3.5k instead of 3k. It doesn't need to be anything intense, but lower the XP from the fishing itself a little bit and move it over into the reward space a little more.
Yeah, but even with that, is that with the deep sea fishing at the highest levels, it's going to have to be a significantly more amount than wobblegongs if they want people to do it at high intensity.
Yeah, and of course the problem is that'll just slaughter the Ark's major fishing use.
Exactly.
Because hunting wobbegongs is something that annoys a lot of players. And you don't make money from it. You make chimes, and at a certain point, chimes kind of lose use.
Yeah.
Like
No.
those XP lamps are not well priced, is what I'm saying.
until the next region.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
in our dreams.
6 more years. And Jagex, please make our skull dock. It's awesome.
It really is.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very difficult balance to strike. And they talked about this a little bit in the skilling discussion, which we will get to, but they are going to have to work their butts off to make sure that this is balanced in a way that doesn't murder all other methods.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it just ends up being good GP. I mean, I wouldn't mind Rocktails being beaten out a little bit.
Heck yeah, I'd be totally cool with a higher GP.
And see, there we go. That's another high-level fishing thing. Is that you have Rocktails that have the highest GP and then some of the lowest XP. You know, it balances out.
Those are more AFK, so let's make these the high intensity, high GP.
But they're also terrible GP per hour.
Now they are.
Yeah, that's true.
They used to be really good at their release.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is being
cheap.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Safecracking.
I like this one a lot.
Awesome, great. Yep, keep doing it.
Like it's everything I want it to be and more.
Yep. Yeah. Unlike the things from the live events team where they hit on something gold and then overdo it to the point of me wanting to like kill myself.
Exactly.
This is the kind of content I actually get behind very, very happily.
You can make it where it's aquarium.
Go train your skill. Yeah. Go earn your
cool.
XP. And congratulations, you unlock cool benefits for your skill. Because it doesn't create repetitiveness, like it doesn't feel like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a new activity and a new skill that's adding freshness to the skill. I thought Memorial to Gothics was one of the best updates in a while.
That was this year, right?
Yeah, it was this year.
Best update of this year.
One of the best updates of this year. It was very well designed.
Best so far.
It's beautiful. The perks are really well done. The extra training was well done. The lore was masterful.
Mm-hmm.
I sound like I'm gushing a little bit here. In all seriousness, like the aquarium was awesome too. I think that kind of stuff is really interesting and fun, and adds variety to a skill while really just rewarding you for taking the time to
do the skill.
Do the skill. It's not here's a brand new method to do the skill that beats everything out. It's go do the skill normally and earn cool new stuff.
I mean, do y'all remember when Aquarium was released and just everyone was fishing?
Everyone.
That was great to see. I would like to see that stretched out, with this Safecracking thing. It's like they're not just going to do this for, the first week, get all their shit and leave.
Another thing about Safecracking is, thank God, that's some unfinished business right there.
Yeah.
For what?
I know everybody's going to be like, what? Go to the Thieves Guild right now. Go to the Thieves Guild and tell me that's not unfinished business. That thing has been sitting there since that stuff came out. They promised us new capers. They actually didn't promise us new capers, but they teased us with new capers. Yeah. And we didn't get anything else, so I'm psyched to see this.
I'm curious how this will go because with the aquarium and memorial, those were both just like you do the same thing.
You know what's
You do it here too.
This one's new stuff though. You have the new areas and the castles to go to raid.
You know what's going to be the most difficult thing about this update? Is going to be people trying to figure out where the Thieves Guild is.
I was going to say the most difficult part would be...
I know where it is, but everybody's going to think it's moved. Oh, well, it probably moved with the battle for Lumbridge. Nope.
As they try to break into the camp.
It's next to what used to be the one really angry guy's house that now has the Zamorakian cultist in it.
Wait. Did they move the Zamorakian cultist?
No, he's in the house.
No, he's still there. It's just the random trap door that's right behind his house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I'm very excited for this. I wonder what kind of rewards they're going to add to the Thieves Guild for the new Henki points. Like consumables.
Oh god, Walter, that would be hilarious if they end up in Taverley.
They try to do Flash Powder Factory.
Yep. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what these perks are. Thieving's needed a nice kick in the pants for a while.
I'm kind of worried they're going to give you like a AFK thieving option.
Here's the thing. I am praying so hard that when this update comes that they finally just make every pickpocketing just automatic like Priff.
I will bet money that's one of the unlocks.
I think it's one of the unlocks.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
Jesus Christ, that needs to be done.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's one thing
Pickpocketing has always been the worst thing in the game until Prift.
And I agree. As somebody who did like 40 levels in the Thieving Guild, doing koshing, which meant right and left clicking wildly.
I got 99 before Prift, so I was like, yeah.
I did too, actually. I intentionally got it before Prift.
Does anyone remember the finger cancer that was the monkey knife fighters?
Oh yeah,
fuck
that!
Oh my god.
See, but then I found out that koshing victims in Thieves Guild was better XP, and you could get multiple pickpockets in before they got back out, and weren't dangerous because they didn't deal damage to you.
Oh.
And they also don't deal damage to you, so
I see.
It's just all around an advantage there.
Yeah.
But I'm curious where they're going to add these safes, because they said castles, but I can only think of 4.
Verak Castle, Lumbridge Castle, Ardean Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Falador. Maybe they'll bring back that one castle from Rat Catchers.
Please
okay.
Sorry, I don't think I made that sarcastic enough. Maybe they'll bring back that one castle from Rat Catchers.
I mean, they have the one random, like, big mansion house, or 2 big mansion houses in Ardone.
Right.
Yeah, maybe we could raid something in Memphis.
Oh, here's another castle. Is the Rogue's Castle, all the way in the wilderness.
I was about to say Camelot, actually.
Oh, Camelot could be good. Yeah, Rogue's Castle would be a good, like, end game location for it, because, hey, let's bait Skellers into the wilderness.
Yeah, exactly. 52 wilderness at that point.
That cursed energy change is amazing.
Hey, that area is going to be for free to play, so...
Wait, are they opening that up? I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Deep Wilderness is going free to play.
Woo!
Use a bus.
Just before we move on soon, I just want to point out that this is a 65 to 95 level training thing, Safecracking.
Oh, we didn't mention combat pets. They're coming along. Next.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With the Deep Wilderness opening up there real quick, can you just imagine, like, someone exploring in there and they get attacked by the Chaos Elemental, and all of a sudden they try to attack back. And they attack back and like, you must be a member to attack this monster. Like, no, I'm dying!
Like the Slayer level, but worse. Yeah. But I'm really excited about this update. I've really had zero complaints about any of the aquarium style stuff so far, and I think it's the kind of update that Jagex really can continue to make without much fear.
I haven't seen any excitement over this version though, the Safecracking. Like,
I think it's just been overshadowed, honestly.
I think there's more things that players are more excited about, but when this comes out, people are going to be pretty excited.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. I agree. We'll touch on Lost Grove a little bit here. I'd like to do a separate. Yeah, I'd like to do like a separate piece about the stuff that's released so far. But so we got the new island. It's huge, but I actually really like the way it's mapped out. It's
I'm glad there's a lot of area.
Phenomenal. It's so beautiful.
They said it's what, like 10 load squares or something crazy?
Yeah, open it up. Open up your world map and look at that thing. It's Prif size.
That's as big as Batch 1 Arc. I remember that number.
It's like the size of Soul Wars, the Soul Wars island, but like
all open,
all available to walk on.
And you can walk between the trees too. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I really loved that. Like you could walk up on those hills and stuff.
Yeah.
They've got a fairy ring on there, obviously, because there's fairies. Like, it is a huge island, and I think they did a really good job with it.
There's 2 fairies. There's just
there's just 2, and one of them is a copy of Fairy Fix It. But I'm not even mad about that because hey, save budget where you
I think
can.
they should have had some like nameless ones around, but we'll just let them go off into the forest and copulate if they want.
I'm not even upset.
But what do you think of the Slayer creatures? I think I fought like 10 of them. They were okay.
I've killed 0 of them.
I've killed 0 of them.
They have a special attack where every once in a while you have to move to the side. That's it.
Yep, pretty much. Oh, so Arhats.
And they deal a lot. And they deal a lot of damage.
No, but like I think they're really cool. You know, more top end Slayer monsters that we need, higher level. You know, fill in those gaps more. Island is beautiful. The drops seem cool.
Yeah.
I like the drops. I like the island. I even like the D&D on the island. Like
that's all right.
It's not a lot of XP every week, but
Pet chance. You get that pet chance.
Yeah, cool. I like the little pet they added. I like the Linkin Park reference they added. Rip Chester Benningfield. I'm not even saying that sarcastically. Like, seriously, good, nice reference. I saw that one of the other members of the band tweeted that out, and that's pretty cool. Good job, guys.
And
The
they're going to use
lore,
it in the future. I'm glad they're going to use this for future updates.
yeah, the lore is really quality.
Yeah.
I know we give combat people shit sometimes about their lore, but no, I thought it was really well done.
Because it's usually non-existent or shit.
Araxor, Calfight King and Exiled Calfight, kind of Telos.
Kind of Telos? No, just all of Telos.
Good point, yeah. They got some half-assed lore in that.
It was half-assed entirely.
But yeah, I thought the lore was really quality here. I love the idea of Solak being a guardian of Guthix. I love the idea that this was an island that, was more available, and that elf done fucked it up.
So does this mean we're done with Guardian of Guthix at this point? Because I know we said we had like one left like years ago.
Yeah,
I think they're not sticking to that number anymore, though.
I also don't think they're going to bother sticking to that number. I think, even adding stuff like Ytternam as a previous world guardian,
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm really cool with this idea, though. I think it's great. I think they should continue to kind of expand that idea of the Guardians of Guthix. The location seems like a very important location. The idea of like an anima tree. Of course, Saren would be interested in that.
I am glad we got a huge body of land on the world map.
Yeah.
First time forever.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it's well done.
I'm looking forward to it so
great work so far. The drops are really nice from the creatures. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yes.
The one that's supposed to be about making money makes money. The new gloves are cool. Yeah, all around.
Looking forward to the 5-part quest series.
Now let's just hope the ambassador is good. I mean, lol, tree boss.
Yeah. Apparently the ambassador has been replaced with a large Maokai. But no, I think the design's really cool for Solak. I like the lore so far. So I'm actually pretty excited for him. I like the stuff they talked about with using micro attacks or whatever the heck they called it. What was the phrase? Sub attacks rather than standard attacks.
It'll have like special attacks as auto attacks.
Yeah. And you'll be moving around a lot. You're going to be on that giant tree at some point, it seems.
But if you look at the island, it looks like you go in a cave.
Yeah, there's that one cave. I think that's where it's going to start, and I think we're going to end up climbing up the tree.
Yeah. Okay, I thought there was going to be like a hidden grove inside with like mushrooms lighting it up and stuff.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see how that looks. But T92 dual wield crossbows, great. I'm surprised those didn't come from Manifold still, but cool. As long as this doesn't have a use a key to unlock this boss, I think these will be fine.
Not bad.
But yeah, overall, I like what I'm seeing here. I'm eager to see how Solak plays out. I'm expecting to be crushed by it horribly.
Oh, we're gonna kill it day one. Me and you.
Oh yeah, just you and I are gonna duo it. That's right. Sorry. Already fantastic work on this stuff, and I'm really eager to see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you're saying there, Walter, with Aternus. Yeah. Anyway.
Dimension of the Damned.
Hey, Vernie.
Uh-oh.
I think this next one.
Looks like
one's on you.
Looks like we're all going to hell, cause we're all damned.
This is your fault, Vernie.
No, this is not. Halloween was my fault. This one's a different dimension.
Yes, this is not the dimension of disaster. This is the dimension of the damned. So
actually, a different one.
Yeah, no. This better still be a dimension of disaster. To be
honest,
it's not. I don't believe it is.
They actually say that because
it's one where everyone is zombies. Like, there's not even white knights, black knights. It's just zombies.
Okay, I'm significantly less excited for this then.
I mean,
honestly, the reason I was so cool with this idea is I was like, oh my god, they're really expanding the dimension of disaster. Awesome.
But this isn't the Halloween event, so there's still a chance.
True. Like,
yeah, the Halloween event is a mini quest thing that probably isn't going to be a quest.
We didn't get to hear about. I don't know why we didn't hear about it.
Yeah, Orion's working on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently he wants it to be a quest, and he tried to push for it, and he doesn't know if it'll happen.
And he's going to be talking to Osborne because Hellring did a very good job of ranting on Twitter.
Pitching.
Keep it up, bro. Yeah.
Dimension the Dam. So this is a temporary event coming in October to emulate Dead Man mode hype, essentially.
It looks like they've designed it better, too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's PVM, not PvP.
Yep.
And you only have to log in for an hour to get a high score to rank.
Yep, you just have to get a good enough rank to go nuts.
In 1 hour. And
did they say that you were able to try more than once?
They didn't mention it. I assume they did.
So.
I assume you can, though.
But you also go into this dimension and your account is like maxed out, and they take away all your items.
But you only have a bronze sword and 50 bronze arrows.
Yeah.
So good. You have to get gear somehow, and then the further out you go from Falador, the less safe it is.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this plays out. The graphics.
I think everyone will play it. Everyone will play it.
The fact that it's not PvP is a big draw for me.
Same. I think. Yeah.
I'm really excited just to see how a PVM competition mode plays out. I think that's really cool. Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I would have liked to see what would have happened if everyone had to start from a basically fresh maxed account with nothing.
They do
on a PvP event.
Oh, yeah. But I'm perfectly fine with a PVM event in the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it.
I think the one complaint I have so far is that this isn't permanent. This is like a bring back whenever we desire.
Yeah.
I think this would be a really cool, do this every month.
I mean, on the bright side, at least it is content that they have the ability to bring back, and it's not just like.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely designed to play that way. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's mess with it.
I think
I'm really eager to see how the community responds to it.
Yeah.
I think the fact that everybody's on a maxed account will pull in some old school players who are curious what this is all about.
They also made a super cheesy trailer for it.
Yeah, I watched it.
It was
it is kind of like the roguelike mode they mentioned, Walter.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. I'm perfectly cool with that.
Yeah, it's like the roguelike mode, and then they're kind of throwing in a bit of elements with Darkscape on it.
Yeah, right. So, I think once they run this once, they'll probably take all the feedback back and structure it better, so that there's more structure to it. Like if you get to this threshold, you get ancient magics and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think another thing I really do like is the fact that because it's only an hour of play, you don't really run that risk of people being DDoS'd and all that shit that happened at the latest.
Sharing and all that stuff,
yeah.
Get scores.
Now, I mean, I'm worried about the top 1K players with the highest points, but
do you have to be logged on for the same 2.5 hours as everyone else, or is it do it
2-hour end game in the final week of October?
Let's just hope this doesn't go to the whole the number one player gets $10,000 because we know
last man standing wins unique prizes both in real life and in game. So probably
they're not old school, so they can't fork up $10,000.
Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen because we see how that goes every single time, and it's very.
It'll be like you win a T-shirt and a signed poster. Congratulations.
I mean, if they would have done this 2 months ago, it could have been a RuneFest ticket.
Could have, but
yeah. But I'm pretty excited to see how this plays out. I don't think it'll suck.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty good for what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And last thing, clan updates. Clans need them.
Actually, we talked about this already.
Oh, did we? I didn't.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
there's not a lot I can say about them, just because there's not a lot we have confirmed. They're the only thing coming from RuneFest that isn't actively in development yet.
So they just wanted
but
to ease
basically
clans.
Basically, they wanted to tell all the clan owners that have been whining at them for the last 3 years that we're gonna do.
I mean, not that the whining isn't rightfully so.
Correct. It's just. They've been harassed for years. Yeah.
It's definitely whining that has been needed because clan interfaces are garbage.
Yeah. I totally agree. I'm as a clan owner of a fairly decent-sized clan.
As the only one here who can access the clan owner forum.
Not true. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing I check regularly. Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm very allergic to bullshit.
You know what I just noticed is not on this list and we didn't talk about?
What?
Evil Dave Quest.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Duh.
it's because it wasn't really mentioned in the reveals.
It was in the news post a little bit, but yeah.
It was mentioned that it's happening.
That
Yeah.
we're getting probably the next month or two.
So we know that it started out as Timbo's Tap project, and then Ryan
And then
worked
moved
on
over
it,
to-
and then now Ramen has it.
Nope, there was Chaplin in between.
Oh, Chaplin. Chaplin
Yeah,
was the
then
one that had it. I'm
Chaplin's
sorry.
contract ended.
Yeah, Chaplin left.
And now Ramen. So it's going to be like the most potpourri quest of flavor, and
I'm actually really excited for it, to be honest.
at this point it's a quest. I'm just excited for a quest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good quest.
And, you know, supposedly most of the test players that they've had, which is just JMods, think it's really funny. So, you know, hopefully we'll have it.
That's hit or miss, though, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoy comedy quests when they don't suck, and their comedy quests in the past have been very good. Mostly.
Well, they've had both. I mean, I
True.
think we all remember bringing home the
Quest is a
bacon.
goddamn masterpiece.
Yes, but bringing home the bacon was a tragedy.
I don't think they can
It's
redo
funny too,
Gower
because at
Quest,
the
though.
time that quest came out, I didn't hate it so much.
I hate
But
it.
it's another one of those quests where, like, you're thinking back about quests that weren't so good, and then that somebody mentions bringing home the bacon, and you go, oh.
The only thing that was good was the cat cutscene. That was it.
Yeah. Which was out of place
that
because they
good,
stole that
though?
from the pirates.
Yeah. It was Wilson, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that quest very much. It just... Cannibals! Ha! Funny!
Yeah. Dimension and Disaster did that kind of stuff better. Dark humor.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the big scale comedy quests they've done as of late have been just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Gower Quest was probably the best quest of last year, so...
One of them at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
But when they put that time and effort into it that is necessary,
This
they're
one's
making
gotten time. This one's gotten plenty of time.
Yep, plenty of time, plenty of effort, plenty of quality devs. I'm all
So
for it.
let's get a good quest out next, please.
Yep.
Dear God, please.
I would like a quality quest for this year. Just one. Just one.
Let's hope for two. But we need one.
Even one.
I mean, I thought that Crocodile Tears was a very quality quest.
It's a 5 out of 10.
And then you had to do the agility pyramid, and all of my goodwill for that quest slowly drained.
I mean,
As the blood dripped from my ears.
despise the agility pyramid just as much as the next guy, but I still like the quest.
Crocodile Tears had a lot of problems.
Here's the thing, though.
lot.
Here's the thing.
Bad
Can we agree that Crocodile Tears was the best of the Metaphos quests?
Yes.
No, because Our Man in the North had the best story.
I
But
disagree.
I'd say Crocodile Tears.
Thank
What
you.
story? Hey,
I'm not-
here's
it's not-
Crondis. Go do some
Stories is
stuff
only
for her.
half of it.
Hey, there's
here's
a demon in her throat. Kill it.
Here's Het at the end of the quest for no reason.
Yes, that was dumb. But we got political intrigue. We got
Story is
political
worth
intrigue.
just as much as mechanics, and
And Crocodile
Our Man in the
Tears
North had
did
zero.
not have the story.
it had at least one point of story.
Our Man in the North had the story,
But it had
but
the
the
zero
mechanics.
mechanics.
Yeah. So I mean, of the two, Our Man in the North was the most storied.
Yeah.
But like Crocodile Tears felt more
But come
polished.
on, guys. Fight Club. That was the best, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Fight Club had the best boss fight. Sort of.
Jack of Spades had the best title card of the city you're entering.
Jack of Spades is the best returning character.
I
They
don't
need to
know.
get rid of that Manifos title card when you enter the city. It's so not good.
Yeah.
I think maybe Jack of Spades would have been better if we never got the concept art for it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we speculated too hard.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, we got off topic. Skilling segment.
Incredibly off topic, yes.
So, first
Yes,
thing they
I
talked about
just
here.
want a real quest this year.
Yes. More quests.
So
But
skilling.
on to skilling. So, the first thing they talked about was the diversification of skilling. And this
We
is
got into this.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this already. This was basically that they want every skill to have an option of the highest XP versus the highest GP versus the highest AFK. And they want to balance each skilling option around those three variables.
Yep, and I am totally cool with that.
Agreed.
I don't think anyone really has any issues with that. Especially since we already talked
None
about
whatsoever.
it.
that gives you a lot of options for each skill between intensity and type. So start making one of each for them, like you fill out a combat style gear.
Yeah, this is another thing they kind of wanted to get into though, with that they want skilling to be fun, which, you know,
I don't know how that's gonna happen.
I don't know how that's gonna happen, but at the same time,
I wish them the best of luck though, because I would love to be able to go do skilling that I really feel like I'm enjoying.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say
Tombs has that kind of fun aspect, at least at the start.
Like, I would like to say that, you know, hey, I'm about to go do the skilling thing because I enjoy doing it, because it is, you know, a fun thing to do.
And very few MMOs have profession skills like these that you can freely train. And very few of them do it in a way that is actually super fun.
Like here's the thing.
Because I have the experience.
The only skill in the game I actually find to be legitimately fun is dungeoneering. Because it's not really a skill. I mean, we can argue this point to the death, but it plays more of a minigame than it does as a skill, and that's because I find minigames to be fairly enjoyable.
Yeah, and I think that's why it succeeded as a skill.
The only reason I absolutely can't stand doing dungeoneering... The only reason I can't stand doing dungeoneering is because I have to put up with people. And finding a team is absolute cancer.
But like even solo was buffed enough that it's completely viable.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like that is a legitimately fun and enjoyable skill, and if they can
completely agree.
If they can,
and Jagex recognizes that too.
Yeah, exactly. If they can get,
they even said that it's one of their best. It's their best skill.
It always polls to the second best.
Yeah, it polls to the second best, with the first being Slayer, of course.
Now,
that doesn't matter. Slayer's sitting first because it makes people money,
and people find that fun. So I think what you really have to do here is start doing like drop tables for skilling. I think that'll make people.
Yeah, but it's also a very varied skill as well. You know, you don't go do the same thing.
I think
you're limited to like an hour maybe of doing something.
Crackers started on the right path, but I think you have to like do that times 11.
The problem with Crackers, then they just spam you once you're done, and there's nothing of value in it.
The problem is you get done. Yeah, you have to have like
exactly
that 1 in 5,000 chance you get a Hazelmere signet ring from a prawn cracker. Something like that.
Just give us drops per se. You know, I totally agree that.
I mean, if they can make, but here's the thing: if they can make every skill as even like half as enjoyable as dungeoneering, I will be fine.
Yeah, which is a big challenge.
It is.
I think the thing that dungeoneering and Slayer both succeed at, though, is it asks you to go do a bunch of unique things where what you're doing is never going to be the same. Or rarely is going to be the same, I guess.
Yeah. And this
because with dungeoneering, you go in and you do combat. You do skilling, and then you battle your way through.
And then
Slayer,
you push full barrels.
You're swarming your way through mob. Yeah, and then you push some barrels and rage at ferrets.
And this feeds into our next point, really, which is their 5-year plan. And that's that they want to do all of this, which is make all the skills have this diversification, along with reworking any skills that absolutely need reworking, like your mining and your smithing, your construction, your agility, your fireworking, all of that by 5 years. So in 2023, they want to look back and say, wow, skilling is in a really good place.
Didn't they say they want to have like a new skill in there too?
Yeah, and they wanted to throw in a skill.
I believe they mentioned a new elite skill.
No, they said no. They
said they just said new skill.
No, they said, because someone asked about this. They said they wanted in the 5 years to throw one skill in there, and that they wanted it to be a real skill, because they said they wanted to.
I'm okay with elite. I'd rather an elite.
Yeah, here's the thing. They said they wanted to take a bit of a break from elite skills.
I personally would rather lean elite. Like, why introduce a new concept and then not keep going?
I think you had to do two when they.
I don't think we have enough unique gameplay ideas left for non-elite skills anymore.
I agree, and I think the problem is that we're in like an expansion situation where invention didn't go down so well, and it took them a year and a half to get the second batch out. And so they're like, yeah, exactly. And so they're like, okay, this didn't go so well. Let's do something else, because skills have worked in the past. Exactly.
Yeah.
And all the skills they mentioned, like the new ones, like archaeology and stuff like that, those are elite skills.
God,
their ideas are elite skills.
Yeah.
Like the big one they talked about on stage was necromancy, and someone in the crowd was like, "Hey, well, we know you're worried this is going to be too close to summoning. So what if you had it as an elite skill as, magic and prayer and summoning, and then it could work like that." And
I still think there's not enough stuff to
right,
put
I
into
mean,
that.
that's what I've been pushing
here's the thing:
for a long time.
I would still think it was probably be too close to summoning to actually work.
Right.
But they were against it being an elite skill because they don't want to do an elite skill again.
That's just
at least for a while.
In the 5 years, they have to do it next year. So give it 2, give it 3, and then do an elite skill as your next one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like this must have been maybe 2008, 2009. I suggested a quest called Ghost in the Machine, which included a summoning expansion for necromancy.
That was the Ectofungus one, right?
Yeah, it was a weird one.
I remember.
It had like a whole necromancer in it, and yeah. But that idea has been around for a long ass time.
Yeah.
Does it make you mad that old school is doing ranching first?
No, not at all.
No.
Okay.
I'm actually really excited to see what they come up with.
Ranching, I feel like, could just be a farming expansion.
You were never behind it.
I mean, I wanted as elite skill. Zeror used to run a crazy awesome suggestion for a ranching skill for the longest time.
I think that's where I got most of my ideas for.
And anyway, so with this 5-year plan, though, and this kind of drags into our point we have a bit farther down, I probably should have put it a bit farther up, but it's that mining and smithing has its team a full team currently working on it.
And who knows who? It's probably Mod Jack.
Yeah, we don't know who's working on it, but
if Jack isn't, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, but this team, once they are done with mining and smithing, is going to stay as the quote-unquote skilling update team. And
basically, just all down the artisan skills.
Yeah, exactly. So they are going to be the ones that are going to be doing your construction rework, your agility rework, your new skill.
I'm hoping
all this. That sounds so good to have a team just dedicated to skilling.
I'm personally hoping that they do mining and smithing, do construction, and then go do like fletching, crafting, rune crafting to get it on the same page as mining.
Yeah, here's the thing. On the stage, they sounded very convinced that construction was going to be the next one.
Which I totally agree with the needs.
Yeah, because it's been talked about for so long.
It's a skill you dump money into and get nothing out of.
Exactly.
I really hope they skip agility, though.
I can't. They clearly don't have ideas for.
No one has ideas.
Players clearly don't have ideas for a rework. Like,
already
I agree it needs attention, but I have no idea what that would be, and nobody else does either.
The training methods, like the agility courses right now, are so just ridiculously all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it needs to be reworked, but I cannot tell you how to do it.
Well,
is the thing.
I have a few ideas, but they're always, no, we can't tie agility into combat, so there goes all the ideas.
They're tying agility into mining when they're doing the mining rework.
True, and it's already got ties into fishing. Right. I do think it could be successfully used as like a skill supplementer.
But I don't.
I remember an idea that they had
training and then gain bonuses and other skills.
Right.
I remember an idea that they threw out a long time ago when they first mentioned updating agility, like.
That was because somebody suggested it on Rune.
Yeah, exactly. But they were like, hey, what if we had it to where, if you're doing herb lore and you have your potions and they come together faster, the faster that your agility goes up.
That was actually, I was a big fan of that too, is the idea of like doing your skilling actions a little quicker because your agility is higher.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really great way to go about things too. But
I feel like what you were saying, like, throwing agility into combat would be the most obvious, but I know they're not going to do it.
Yeah, like they always are just like, no, we're not doing that. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not a bad idea.
They could totally just put agility requirements on certain abilities, like throw it on Surge.
Oh yeah.
30 agility.
Hell, if keep Surge the same, add an agility based unlock that lets you dodge attacks using things like Surge. Cool.
Make more abilities, please. It's a good reward space.
Keep making us abilities, and that's actually something they mentioned in their combat talk too. Is further diversifying skills. But
Yeah, making them
We'll get to that when we get to that
finally
one.
taking the Darkscape model and putting it here.
Yep.
Finally.
The one good thing Darkscape did right.
Alright, and the next big thing that I really thank God they are finally doing it, taking skilling items off the drop tables.
Will they do it, though?
Fuck. Yes, okay, so what they said, that mining and smithing was going to be the start of this development of getting them out, is that Jack and Timbo are going to be looking into the drop tables and saying, how can we get them off without destroying drop tables, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know Jack's
Jack's
idea. Jack's already thrown out ideas of, like just trash items that are alchable.
I'm looking at the drop tables for the new creature that got released yesterday.
Yeah.
There are 3 things that skillers can make, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that they can't.
Yeah, so that's what they were saying.
That's much better.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, is that with the Grove, they were intentionally, slowly fading out their new monsters to have less and less and less.
That dropping unique items,
exactly.
Seeds, which has always been a drop.
Right.
Gems,
that way you
talismans.
can. That way, when they are taking things off the drop table, they don't have to go to these newer monsters that they just put drop tables on.
And I am totally cool with using like Slayer in combat to fuel access to seeds.
Yeah.
As long as there's other alternative methods.
And that's the thing, is seeds have always been drops. You can't get seeds from anything else except for
that's fine.
Vine Sweeper, but who the fuck does Vine Sweeper?
To be able to get seeds from like the environment, but for now I have no problems with them coming from creatures as well. That's cool. It's been the way it's always been, so why change it? Yeah.
And there should be crossover. It shouldn't be completely exclusive, because the point is that we're providing items to the skillers provide the items to the PVMers as well.
And vice versa. Yeah.
But not like total domination on one side.
Yeah, exactly, which is how it's been.
Like how
PVMers provide things to the skillers and then also get drops of the things that they should be.
Although that said, seeds being a drop does have the issue of Slayer being the fastest farming XP per hour.
True.
That's a seed aside problem.
Dinkos, yeah.
It is a seed aside problem, but
yeah, Ganondorfs.
Because there should totally be Slayer creatures you go for seeds.
Yeah.
But yeah, the seed aside's a problem.
But yeah, so with mining and smithing, they are going to start with the whole getting everything off the drop tables, which just thank God.
I really hope they go with the coal as a speeding up thing, because there's just so much coal everywhere.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to be using coal for the higher level stuff. I think you're going to have your own separate high level super coal when you're making.
And add that to some of the higher level monsters, just a little bit.
Yeah, true.
But there should that's one of those things gonna be like a flow of, you take this item from PVM not to do the skill, but to make it better.
Yeah.
Yep.
And screw the people that are upset that coal is gonna be something else.
Yeah, I think it's extra funny too that coal was the whole reason that we didn't get the mining and smithing update earlier, was people whining about that. And then now they're just gonna go ahead and do it anyway, which they should. They should go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, why are you so worried about coal? When was the last time you mined coal?
Why are you worried about gold in the first place?
Well, at a certain level, it's the highest thing you can mine.
I know. It's been a long time, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I think the last time I mined coal was when I was trying to do the Sears Village tasks and had to fill up some coal trucks.
I probably just bought the coal for that, honestly.
Yeah.
When coal is 500 of it is a common drop on a monster, it's really, this needs to be something.
Yeah.
It needs to be changed.
I mean, but then it wasn't even restricted to coal there, because you were getting 200k drops in rune ore. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. There's just so much. This is going to be This is the bigger part of the rework in my mind.
You know what's really going to be hard? Skilling stuff off the reworks is going to be the metal dragons. Because they drop bars as a...
Oh, they already talked about those,
thing.
actually.
What did they say?
They mentioned that instead of dropping bars themselves, they would drop something that
fragments?
smithers would then smelt down into base components.
Oh. That could be cool.
Or or like an alternation to bars. Like, basically, they would no longer just drop straight bars.
Honestly, I would...
Which is unfortunate, because I really enjoy Dragon's mixtapes.
Yeah, I mean, I would be perfectly fine with them dropping, like, bar fragments or something. I don't know how they would do it, but... You know, as long as it's not just dropping straight coal or bars or something.
With these
not
drop
coal ore.
They don't have to be like take every single thing off. Like a mass reduction would do the same thing. Like if you leave just the bars on just those dragons, it'll still have done its job.
Yeah, but then I feel like that's gonna make those dragons very, I don't want to say niche, but...
And I mean, Rune's going to be level 50 then, so what is it even going to be?
Yeah, exactly. Rune will be level 50, so now you're fighting these really high level monsters and you're getting Rune bars that are level 50.
Drop more of them until it's like the right number. But I feel like
2025 we have Arthurium dragons.
I think the bones are still worth more anyway, so who cares?
That's true. Honestly, they could just go with the bones and it would be a good drop table.
Yep.
Yeah.
They also said they wanted to make skilling profitable, which they hope that taking skilling items off the drop table will majorly help with, since you will be the main influx of those items.
And they started that last week with high capacity plank makers. I feel like it's laughing.
I mean, at least it takes a long time.
It does, but you can earn enough money for Premier membership within a year by doing nothing.
True.
That's true.
Well, for now.
Well, the logs are spiking, which is why I bought 50,000 of them. But I'm buying my max limit every day. They are consistently going up as fast as they can.
That's hilarious.
The planks are completely stable, though. They will not budge.
You say that, but...
I mean, you have a mass injection of them into the game. And they kind of just...
now at this point.
Yeah, they kind of just get destroyed. It's not like they have any real use.
Mahogany planks are still just over 2,000 GP.
That's true, I just sold like 200 of them.
What's going to be really funny, though, is when we can... It's going to be funny when we can run them to the sawmill for money.
But yeah, I'm just glad I'm getting you get a constant 2 million GP every day in profit.
Yeah.
So, for doing nothing.
Alright, future reworks, we kind of already mentioned that. Construction, agility, fire making we didn't really touch on, but basically they said fire making's a rubbish skill and they want to look into it.
It's going to be that. It's just let it be.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just always been what it's
not really costly. It has a couple small, nice benefits.
I think the main problem with it is that it just does nothing.
It's literally burn your cash stack. It's fire making.
I mean, it's the money burning skill, like, you know, the skill.
Like, why even bother buying logs? Can we just start tossing GP in?
Party hat. Let's toss party hats in.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Burn your driftwood.
That is actually really good XP. I save that for BXP weekends. In the hopes of getting briny.
Future 120s. Okay, this is an interesting topic. So, and this one really surprised me, was when they said, okay guys, we know 120 Slayer went down really poorly.
But they're going to go against it.
You know what's extra funny about them acknowledging that 120 Slayer went down really poorly? We, on this very channel, did at least 2 videos on the topic, plus brought it up a bunch, talked about it on Twitter, made Reddit posts about it, basically made a huge stink about it, and then Hellring and I wrote a whole design document about it.
And what happened?
And then what happens? It's undercooked, felt half-baked into Menaphos, and sucked.
Yep.
You can't say we didn't warn them.
They had plenty of warning. I will not defend them in this. And they
Like,
didn't.
I'm not even trying to say this to gloat. I'm hideously disappointed because I was hoping it would be something good.
Yeah,
And there are
completely
elements of it being good. The Souls thing is
Pokedex.
cool. I mean, it's grindy, but it's cool. A Pokedex, yeah. The Personal Slayer Dungeon is freaking phenomenal. But they didn't add a new Slayer Master. The new creatures are
There's 2 tabs.
fine.
There's only 2 tabs.
Copy-paste.
There should be more.
Yeah. Like, where's the unique stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're getting it now with stuff like the Lost Grove and this dungeoneering stuff, even though those are under 100. I'm actually curious what happened to the abyssal creatures that Shogun was working on during Game Jam. Probably canceled.
Isn't one of those updates we talked about before Shogun's working on them? I think it was like Safecracking.
Oh, maybe.
So I think he just got postponed.
Yeah, probably.
But this was something they were going on about, was that they know 120 Slayer went down really bad. They know it came out half-baked, and that it didn't get the attention that it needed, and then it came out with no content. And this is
really
actually, and this is actually discouraging them from doing more 120s, at least for now. And they said that if they want to do more 120s in the future, that they want to make sure that they have all the content fleshed out for then 100 to 120.
You know how they do you know how they do necromancy? Summoning to 120. You know how they do ranching? Farming to 120. Go nuts.
I don't want them to do that, because then you can just argue every elite skill can just be like the expansion to 120.
It could have been.
It could have been, though. Like, that
could have. Is one of the few that felt like it needed a whole new skill.
I mean, here's the thing.
Because invention is unique enough from other ideas.
Invention is pretty much just the crafting skill with lightning. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, and the smithing skill with lightning. But it used enough other skills in like the core design that it wasn't easy to just go, well, this is crafting to 120.
Right.
But it could have been smithing to 120. Like there was enough.
It was initially that, wasn't it? Oh, halfway through it was that.
But then when you look at necromancy, what's the gameplay? It's summoning.
Yeah.
But undead things. What's archaeology? It's mining. But relics. What's sailing? It's ports, but it's still ports.
I think archaeology you have to do separate.
Yeah, I think they could probably go separate with archaeology.
I still think ranching you have to do separate because it's livestock instead of...
I would like them to do ranching separately, but they could do it as farming.
Animals are different.
I think it uses enough construction that it deserves to be its own thing.
Yeah, but at the very least, and I do have to at least say, I'm glad that they see that it went down poorly, and I hope that they take the learning from that. I hope in the future
releasing half-baked stuff.
Exactly. I do hope in the future that they realize, hey guys, this was bad. Let's make sure everything is fleshed out.
It just hurts me as a player that was very passionate about not messing this up and spent a lot of time talking about how they're probably going to mess this up. It pains my soul that they messed it up.
I think
especially with them messing it up, messed up the update that we've been waiting for years.
Like, think of how much stronger Menaphos could have been if they'd focused that development time on other things.
If they had just not done 120 Slayer, yeah, it would have been
like
great.
The Quest.
Do you remember how early they announced when Menaphos was coming out? It was like March. They announced June 5th.
Oh, the date? Yeah.
Yeah, they should have just not announced it. And then when June hit, they should have said, sorry guys, we're making this as great as it can be. You're going to wait 2 months.
Well, that would have ruined the expansion cycle.
The problem cycle was an issue. They should just start the next one once that one's done.
Yeah, I mean, if they were going to cancel expansions, they could...
Their whole idea was once every 3 months you get an expansion.
And I think that
one does an expansion, then spends 3 months working on the next one. Spends 6 months working on the next one.
The 3 months...
So if they delayed it by 2 months, then they'd have been 2 months behind the schedule in general.
That cycle stuff kind of ruins it.
Yeah, I think it showed that the 6 month cycle did not work on
even in 2016, there was some...
Which is extra funny because, and I hate to keep doing this, but Guild Wars 2 has teams in place to build expansions, and then they also have 3 teams rotating every couple of months building their Living World episodes. So they're literally doing what Jagex tried to do, except Correct
Some
me.
places, they're not big enough. That's just the answer.
It's actually kind of hilarious to me because Guild Wars 2 just put out their new expansion on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Not advertising. I swear I'm using this for a point.
Go play Path of Fire.
And it's really good. Guess where it's set? It's set in a desert. And guess what's the first major map you come across? A giant desert city that's freaking awesome. It hurt a little. It stung. And I was like, shit, this is really fun. And then it stopped stinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the wound that we bear now.
This is all your fault.
So, how soon do we convert into a Guild Wars 2 channel?
Never.
As soon as I play Guild Wars, which is probably not gonna happen soon.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously kidding. There's much better Guild Wars channels out there who play better.
I hardly have time to play the game that we talk about consistently.
You log on.
Plus, you know, I care about this game's lore, and I'm not gonna stop talking about it.
We won't let you leave. You're shackled. Yeah.
I literally almost left in the summer because I didn't have time, and I was like, nope.
Literally almost left. You like disappeared for 3 months.
I mean, I did disappear, but like I almost quit playing. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna let my membership lapse, and then it was a weird time. Okay.
This summer was hard for me too. I did not play that much.
The Gillenor crack was wearing off.
I think I played the most during the summer when Minifos came out, and as soon as I did Fight Club, I lost any confidence to do anything else.
I unlocked Tier 9 Minifos, and then my second job started, and I was like, what? Free time? What's that?
I just finished Sandy a couple of weeks ago. So Tier 10 everything, but yeah, it was like so totally motivating.
Tier 10 everything. No.
I don't even have Tier 10 Minifos yet.
Oh my.
No amount of tombs in the world is worth that.
I say that, and I'm probably going to get Sandy.
I only finished the last bit of it because RuneScore.
True.
That was my new motive. That achievements was one of the best updates this year for gaming.
I agree. I am an achievement whore.
Same.
It's a problem. Literally, the reason I did the Magister today was because I realized I could boost to it, and that would get me my final boss title, or my Reaper title back, and my music title back.
And then you regretted it immediately.
No, I was pretty happy with it.
No, I meant with the Magister.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. He was a waste of time, and the movement system sucks. But whatever.
And there's some really fun ones there.
Yep.
Like holding your pet rock for an entire Virago kill.
Yeah.
Which basically means leech it.
Yep.
All right.
No, but I think they did a really good job with the achievement system.
Finally,
they reworked it.
Yeah.
Spectacular work.
A+ mods do.
All right, you want to start wrapping up? We're almost at 1:45 here.
Yeah, we're well past there. Yeah, we're
rambled.
We've covered everything we need to cover.
And more.
Yep. Lore and the combat will come hopefully later this week.
Yes.
We'd like to do combat and lore soon. I know we say this every time, but we have some stuff that we're writing. Maybe it'll come soon. Unfortunately, we're all busy. It's the school year. I work a lot.
We all live in college time, which is different than regular internet time. So soon could mean like 3 years.
Definitely soon trademarked.
Exactly. We basically live in Jagex time.
Yep. But hopefully we'll be able to get content as we desire. And hope you guys stick around. Thank you so much for watching, as always, while listening. I really hope you didn't stare at the screen the whole time. Go do something else. But thanks so much. If you have comments, feedback, suggestions, ideas on our ideas,
criticism,
let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this, like, comment. If you want to hear more, subscribe. Getting the channel plugs in there. And hey, if people are looking for this type of content, all I can really say is, go ahead and share it to people, because we always appreciate new viewers. And thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.